As humans, specifically as entrepreneurs, we often feel, this pressure to always say yes to every opportunity that comes around. We believe that saying yes all the time will open doors and, create connections. But the reality is that learning how to say no is probably one of the most important skill you can have. Saying no is not about, rejecting opportunities. It's about prioritizing your time and your focus. Every single time you say yes to an opportunity that, doesn't align with your goals, with where you want to end up, you are, unconsciously saying no to an opportunity that might bring you closer to that goal. Every single entrepreneur and businessman you admire have, they all have this really strong sense of they know exactly where they want to end up and they prioritize their focus like no one else. And they're the ones who say no to almost everything. And here the main point is in life, everything has a ripple effect. When you choose where to focus your attention, you basically determine the trajectory of your life. And it all comes down to this concept of, where focus goes, energy flows. Let's take an example where people, and specifically entrepreneurs, struggle to say no. Let's say a client of yours approaches you with, a last minute project update that is just going to take away your current priorities. Or for example, you have a colleague or a peer who invites you to a networking event that is not aligned with your current audience. And now I'm asking you the question: how often do you find yourself saying yes to things that are just not aligned with where you want to end up, and to things that are just take too much of your time? And it's natural to think that saying yes will probably help your relationships or open the doors to new opportunities. But when you agree to things that are just, not aligned with your goals, you just spread yourself too thin. And by recognizing these situations, ahead of time, situations where you know that something is not going to move the needle for you or your business or bring you closer to your goals, by recognizing these events ahead of time, these situations ahead of time, you can prepare your responses and feel more confident when you say no. And I think it's really important to take some time and reflect on scenarios or situations where you felt pressure to say yes in the past, and consider how you could approach them differently moving forward. And once you are aware of all of these different scenarios and situations where you felt pressure to say yes, I use something that I call the no policy. The no policy is a set of criteria that helps you evaluate opportunities and make informed decisions. And there are three main questions in the no policy that you need to ask yourself. So the first question is, does this opportunity align with my core values? Your business values are the foundation of your brand. And if an opportunity doesn't resonate with your values, it's a clear no. The second question is, does this opportunity will help me achieve my current goals? You need to consider whether that, opportunity aligns with your, short-term and long-term objectives. And if it doesn't contribute to your vision, it's not worth your time. The third question is, do I have the capacity to take this on right now? And that's really where you need to evaluate your current workload. If adding this task will, stress you out or compromise your current commitments, it's a no. It's a no. And by developing your personal no policy, you will streamline your decision-making process and reinforce your confidence in setting boundaries. And I think this goes hand in hand with the opportunity cost concept, which is that every single time you say yes to something, you're simultaneously saying no to something else. For example, if you say yes in working with, a client who is not worth your time, who's going to be a pain in the ass, you are simultaneously saying no to potentially working with an amazing client that you're going to bring so much result to, and now think about it, think about a time when you said yes to something that didn't bring you closer to your goals and was a complete waste of time. And really think about it, why did you say yes to this opportunity or in that specific scenario? And understanding opportunity cost is crucial for making, informed decisions. And before saying yes, always ask yourself, what am I sacrificing in return? This is why you really need to value your time and energy and only invest it in tasks or scenarios in which are going to bring you, closer to your goals. So how do you actually say no to something that is really, not aligned with your goals? But when you need to say no, it's crucial that you do it gracefully. And your approach can make a significant difference in how your message is received. Let's take an example. Let's say someone invites you to speak at an event, but you realize that in that event you don't have your target audience, or that event is not really aligned with your business objective at the time. Something you might say is, thank you so much for inviting me to speak at this event. I really appreciate it. But I'm currently focusing on, other projects that take so much amount of time right now, and I just don't have the time. When you say no, it's super important to always show gratitude to that person, because that person thought of you for this opportunity, for inviting you to speak at this event for in this example. So acknowledge the offer, express gratitude, appreciation, and publicly decline. In this way, you maintain a professional, respectful relationship with the person that in the future they might offer you something that is really aligned with your business objectives. And say no goes for your clients, your actual client as well. And sometimes saying no to client is necessary for maintaining a healthy working relationship. I had the experience of a client who I remember he asked me to do more work outside of our our agreement, and I just didn't have the time to do it because I had other clients and other responsibilities. What I did is that I just sent him a message, something along the lines of, and I have the email right here that goes along the lines of, I really appreciate your enthusiasm for expanding the project. It's an amazing project. However, this request falls outside of our current agreement, and I just don't have the time to do it. But let's hop on a call these upcoming few days to discuss how we can prioritize your needs within the original scope that we established. And this message really reinforces my boundaries while explaining to him that I really care about his success and that we work together to achieve this common goals that we have. And I think it's vital to communicate, especially in that situation, communicate that you are still invested in their current success, the current things you are working on together. All of this while respecting your time and your current resources. And by setting really clear expectations, you help your clients understand the importance of boundaries. And the last thing I want to talk about on that subject is that you really need to have a really supportive network. And what I mean by that, is having and sharing with them, a group of friends, even family, peers, mentors, like-minded people who really understand you and your business and your goals. When people understand you, your goals, and where you're headed, they'll only offer opportunities or activities that are aligned with your current goals. That way you can trust that almost everything they're going to propose to you is going to be worth it and align with your goals, so you won't have to say no anymore. In conclusion, I would say that learning to say no is one of the most important skills you can have, especially as an entrepreneur. It really allows you to focus on tasks that really move the needle for you, and really lets you have the time to focus on tasks that are going to bring you closer to your goals. So start practicing saying no today. But before saying no, you need to have a really clear understanding of your personal and business goals. And once you understand this, then you can create your personal no policy. And remember, every no you give is a yes to something that will bring you closer to your goals. So embrace saying no as a tool to keep you on track.